everybody. Welcome to our program. Hi, I'm Dave Dobbins.
And I'm Lavila Kraft. Hey, fire up those VCRs because we have a lineup you'll want to see over and over. We have two new artists, Buck and Sky Park, and on tonight's show we have a local artist, Nicole C. Mullen, from right here in Cincinnati. And one of the most thought-provoking videos that DC Talk has ever made. And that's all here tonight.
Also on tonight's program, we're going to catch up with Dawn Gibson, and she goes to a group called Bridges, a group of teens that are trying to change the course of violence. And that's all on tonight's show. But right now, let's check in with Becca. Hi, Becca.
Hey, guys. We have a loco studio audience. See what I mean? They're from Cornerstone United Methodist Church, and I'm here with Tony, and he's going to hook us up with our first video. Tony?
Check out this new group from Orange County, California. Here's Sky Park with their video premiere, What God Does.
Jump in the mess of human lives undressed and sin unconfessed and see beauty. Look at the sea of misfits and misery and cry till you bleed and see beauty. That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? Waste all the best. Waste all the best on the most dishonored guest when she's unimpressed and see beauty. Give till you're gone. Give till you're gone to the least deserving one and call him your son and see beauty. That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? Why can't we? Everyone I know has failed me. Should I let them take that cross and nail me? That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? That's what God does. That's what God does. That's what God does. Why can't we? Why can't we? Why can't we?
All right, we're back. That was new music from Sky Park with What God Does. And some lucky people are going to be walking away with some of these CDs tonight. I'm here with Krista and Jessica. Guys, there's a line in that song that says, God sees the beauty in the outcast. Why can't we? Krista, why do you think some people have a hard time accepting others who are different?
I think it's hard for people to accept change because when you step outside of your box to get to know someone, that makes you the different person. And God created everyone in his own image, and nobody can be wrong. Everybody is different, and that's okay to be different.
That's right. So Jessica, say there's a kid at your school who gets made fun of, and I'm sure there's a kid in every school who gets made fun of. What can we do as Christians to help that person out?
Well, we could try to include them into our little groups we have with friends. We try to introduce them to our youth groups and try to have them get to know people at youth. And we can maybe volunteer to take them to church.
That's right, show them love. Because God loves us all equally, and in his eyes, we are all special. He's told us to love one another as he has loved us. Besides, you never know when you're the one that's going to be considered an outcast.
That's right, Becca. And you know, some of those things are really hard to do, but we just have to keep trying, don't we? I'm practicing on Dave. Well, hey, we've got more music from DC Talk coming up, so you stay right there because we'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back. I'm Katie, and that was DC Talk with their video, The Hard Way.
Thank you, Katie. Thanks for helping. You know, that video is a little tough to watch, knowing that those men are losing their entire life living behind bars for decisions that they've made. And the tragic thing is wondering what they would have become.
Absolutely, LaVille. And when you think about it, those guys were in prison a lot of times for violent crimes, and it didn't always have to end in tragedy. I'm here with Johnny G. Johnny, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Cornerstone United Methodist Church in Westchester, Ohio.
Thanks for being with us tonight on the program. Well, we're talking about choices, as you saw in DC Talk's video, The Hard Way. They talked about sometimes those choices have brought people to really bad situation, tragic circumstances for making the wrong decision. How do you deal with making the right choices versus the wrong ones? And do they always have to end up kind of being the hard way?
Well, you see, what one always has to remember is that God is constantly going to remind you that it's easier not to be great and that it's often hard to make the right choice. But the thing you have to remember is that God has His plan, and He promises that everything will be okay if you just keep your faith in Him and do as you think that He would do. Unfortunately, some people have to learn that the hard way, and that's the way it has to be sometimes, but it's much better if you could just follow God.
It is. It's a lot better, isn't it? Well, it's clear to see that if we're really going to make a change in this world and change how we look at being violent about things, that the first things we need to do is make sure that we make the right decisions, and secondly, treat people right.
Absolutely.
All right, let's check in with Becca.
In fact, the new group Buck has a video that deals with that very subject. It's kind of slapstick funny, but the group's message is a serious one. So check out Samaritan.
There was a man walking down the street, better tie his shoes, and then he got beat. They took his wallet, shoes, and shirt, left him face down in the dirt, broke his leg and smashed his nose, and even broke his wee little toes. Stripped him bare and left him there, just sitting in his underwear. Would you leave him or would you help him? Don't be scared of showing you care. When you see the hurt, hold out your hand. Show compassion to what you don't know. Just because they're different than you, show the same love just as Jesus did. Just as Jesus did. When walking by, yes, the poor man let his cry. Only had time for a glance, wouldn't even give him a chance. Next came the preacher man, and he said, I don't think I can. I just don't have the time. It's not such a heinous crime. Would you leave him or would you help him? Don't be scared of showing you can. When you see the hurt, hold out your hand. Show compassion to what you don't know. Just because they're different than you, show the same love just as Jesus did. Just as got down on his knees while the man said, help me please. The punk took him home for some care while the others weren't even fair. The punk kid showed his love just like Jesus showed his love for us. Would you leave him or would you help him? Don't be scared of showing you care. When you see the hurt, hold out your hand. Show compassion to ones you don't know. Just because they're different than you, show the same love just as Jesus did. Just as Jesus did.
You just saw Buck's new video, Samaritan. And back in biblical days, Samaritans were seen basically like scum of the earth. Just like the punk was probably seen in that video. But hopefully we are more like the punks and the Samaritans than the ones who passed that poor guy by. Dave, what's coming up next?
All right, after the break coming up, Don Gibson takes us out to meet a bunch of teens who have a real healthy image of how to deal with anger.
And we'll bring you a very special hometown artist who's released her first project and video, having already made a name for herself as a writer. She's cut background vocals for artists like Michael W. Smith and the Newsboys, and if that's not enough, she's a Dove Award winner. So you'll want to stick around because we'll be right back.
God, Jesus? Just a question from Love and Faith Christian Fellowship.
Ouch.
Hey, thanks for keeping it here. I'm Becca Pruitt, and we're going to show you Nicole's new video, Redeemer, in just a bit. But first, y'all get mad, right? We all do, from time to time. But there are ways to control your temper before it gets out of hand. Our field reporter, Don Gibson, was hanging out with a group called Bridges who are finding out ways to do just that. So watch.
All too often, young people are riding in the back of cruisers just like this one because of delinquent behavior. However, on tonight's 180 Turn segment, you're going to see a different reason why young people are riding with the police. Instead of getting on a school bus, some students are getting into this police cruiser to go to their on-location site for an after-school program known as Bridges. It's sponsored in part by the Forest Fair Police Department. So this cruiser serves to escort them from one place to another, just as the Bridges program serves to take them from one way of thinking to another.
Bridges is a mentoring program that's sponsored by the Forest Park Police Department in collaboration with the Council of Christian Communion that help teens, and specifically these at Winton Woods Middle School, to reroute some of the issues that they're encountering on a day-to-day basis.
Lily Bibb is one of the facilitators of the program, and today's focus is on anger versus violence. One of the purposes in this is so that the students can recognize and deal with what makes them angry.
Other people, they just think that they the bully of the school and they want to rule you and see how much they can get over you. And some people let that happen and some people don't. So.
I'm the type of person that likes things my way, and I know it can't always be my way. So like when things don't go my way, I kind of get mad about that, you know, and that really cause my own anger most of the time. I'm really a nice person, but I can always cause my own anger.
In this session, the students are looking for articles related to the topic so that they can discuss them. We did our own research right on the streets of Cincinnati when we asked people, what makes you angry?
Military dictatorships.
Attitudes make me angry when they're not needed.
Then we asked, how do you deal with your anger?
I scream, yell, fight, throw things, stomp my feet.
Does it work?
No.
So we see that anger is a common expression. The students who go to Bridges find an outlet for dealing with their anger.
And if I go there and I'm mad or something, Miss Lily, she talks to us and we can like work out our problems, we talk about it, and then by the time we're done, like we're released, our stress is gone and stuff, you know. You get things off your chest. And, you know, I feel like that other people go through the same. I'm not the only person that goes through what I do go through.
I get stressed out sometimes, but I come here to relieve it, and when we talk about them things, then I could talk about it. So all the stress and stuff can get out of me, out of my anger, and that helps me a lot. That's why I'm in this group.
Okay, so you're saying you're in Bridges so that you can have like a release, right?
Yes, that's what it mainly is, because sometimes you can't talk to your parents like you talk to other people that you can relate to, and that's like other teenagers and stuff, and we all keep it in the same group and tell nobody else in the school, so that's why I can talk out.
These results are exactly what sponsors of this program like to hear. We usually see the police on the scene after anger leads to violence, but here they have teamed up with organizations to make a difference, especially as a result of the high crime rate among teens.
We've been involved in reduction of juvenile delinquency for the past 6 years, and one of the main programs and priority was the development of the Bridges program. We just feel that the Bridges program is an anger management program that actually puts the kids in a non-threatening environment to discuss their own personal problems, and we feel it's been very successful over the years.
Programs like Bridges encourage positive interaction between teens, and that's making a huge impact on the quality of life in our communities. Now, if you would like more details, please take down the contact information that you see on your screen, and we'll see you on the next 180 Turn.
And a great audience tonight. Let's hear it for them. You guys were awesome.
Thank you to the youth from Bridges. We appreciate your efforts in making change in the way that we deal with violence.
And Dawn, another great Turn segment, but we are out of time. Don't forget to check out our website, drop us a line because we love hearing from you guys. Until next week then, peace out and keep looking up.